A las familias de la Florida. Mientras viajo a lo largo del estado, conozco personas todos los días. Todos me dicen que los trabajos son importantes para las familias de la Florida. Estoy trabajando para que mis nietos, Sebastián, August y Quentin, y sus familias pueden recibir una buena educación y trabajos para vivir el sueño americano. Let me introduce a few people to start. This is your Lieutenant Governor, Carlos Lopez Quintero. Carlos habla español perfecto. Not me. So I want to, where's Representative Grant is here? Works right here. We've got Commissioner Sandy Merman here. I'm not sure where Sandy is. I think she was coming in. But you have a wonderful commissioner that works very hard. You got Commissioner Joe Chirula, right here. Where's Joe? Yeah. So we need more jobs. We've had a big turnaround in our state. We've added jobs. We've added 600,000 jobs in a little over 3 years. And that's from the prior 4 years under Charlie Crist. The state lost 832,000 jobs. My family grew up struggling for a job. I lived in public housing. I watched my father's face when the only family car got repossessed because he didn't have a job. That's a bad day. That was going on all the time when I got elected. But we've had a big turnaround. Business people across our state have shown up and they've added a lot of jobs. So first, let's give a big applause to all the business people who are adding jobs. I think we have Representative Dan Rawls right here. So we've added a lot of jobs, and we still have people that need a job. We do have 260,000 job openings in our state right now. Last week we focused on our ports. There's a lot of job opportunities around our ports. We've made big investments in our ports the last 3 years. Now we're going to continue to make big investments in our ports. But according to the Chamber, over 80% of the jobs in our state are in small businesses. So we've got to make sure our small businesses do well. We're going to continue to cut taxes, reduce regulation, streamline the permitting process, so all our small businesses can succeed better than small businesses anywhere. A small business like this, somebody can come from any country and in a very short period of time build a very successful business, a grocery store. And I grew up working in grocery stores. I love grocery stores. I love selling things. I loved all the people that came in constantly, and I got to know them. I loved them. I love to listen to all their stories, all the issues they went. So it's great to be, this is a wonderful business. And 90% of what's sold here is produced in Florida. So we're going to continue to work very hard to make sure this is the state that small businesses can prosper better than any state in the country. So now it's my distinct opportunity to introduce your Lieutenant Governor. He grew up in Miami. His parents are Cuban. He's lived the American dream, and his family's lived the American dream because they live in a country that's free. A country that it doesn't matter what country you came from. You have the shot at el sueño americano, the American dream. He has a wonderful wife. He has 2 daughters. He has daughters 6 and 1. His 6-year-old said he would do a great job, so that sealed the deal. And puts a lot of pressure on him to do a really good job. Your Lieutenant Governor, Carlos Lopez Quintero.
Muy buenos días. ¿Cómo están ustedes? Qué alegría me da estar en un mercado que vende piña. Felicidades al señor y la señora de Duarte por todo su En 5 años han podido lograr este mercado y van a seguir creciendo y van a tener muchos más éxitos aquí en este país. great to be here. It's an honor to serve with this man who's standing with me. I want to thank the Duarte family for having us here today. This is just an example of the American dream. They've been here 5 years and have already been able to build a business, and I'm sure that they're only going to have more success in the future. This state right now is in a much different place than it was less than 4 years ago. Este estado ha mejorado bastante en menos de 4 años, gracias al liderazgo del gobernador Gov Scott. When he took office, the unemployment rate of the state was 11.1%. Today it's 6.2%. The state had lost 800,000 plus jobs, and it has now added over 600,000 private sector jobs. Cuando él empezó, el nivel de desempleo aquí en el estado estaba por encima del 11%. Y ahora está en el 6.2%. El estado había perdido 800,000 trabajos y ahora ha agregado 600,000 trabajos en el sector privado. Y en la comunidad hispana, el nivel de desempleo bajo Charlie Crist subió más de 10 puntos al 13.6%. Y ha bajado ahora bajo el liderazgo del Gov Scott al 8%. 157,000 hispanos perdieron su trabajo cuando Charlie Crist era el gobernador. Y durante la época de Gov Scott, 257,000 hispanos han recuperado. Y es porque este señor dijo lo que iba a hacer durante la campaña. Dijo que se iba a enfocar en trabajos y la economía. Y cumplió con su palabra. Enfocando en los detalles que ayudan a los pequeños negocios, pequeñas empresas crecer. This man, he ran for office saying that he was going to focus on jobs and the economy, and he kept his word. And the results show it, because he's focused on the details that help small businesses grow. 80% of the jobs in Florida are employed by small businesses. 80% de los trabajos en este estado son en empresas pequeñas. Le voy a dar un ejemplo pequeño de los cambios que se han visto en Tallahassee. I'm going to give you one example of something that has changed in Tallahassee because of this man's leadership. Durante la administración de Charlie Crist, si usted quería una licencia profesional en Tallahassee, tomaba 41 días sacar una licencia. Ahora, bajo los cambios de Gov Scott, toma 2 días. ¡Wow! One small example of the change that this governor has made that makes a big difference. When Charlie Crist was governor, it took over 40 days to get a professional license in Tallahassee. And today it takes only 2. That's a big deal. 39 days. 39 días teniendo que esperar por una licencia. Y sin esa licencia, como le puede decir el señor Duarte, si usted no tiene la licencia, el permiso, todas las cosas que le pide el gobierno, no puedes hacer lo que quieres hacer, no puedes operar su negocio. Así que esos días cuentan. So, I'm proud. Para mí es un orgullo ser el primer hispano vicegobernador en la historia de este estado. Y le doy las gracias a Gov Scott por darme la oportunidad de representarle a ustedes con él como su socio. I thank Governor Scott for giving me the opportunity to serve next to him as the first Hispanic lieutenant governor in the history of this state. But this November we need your help. Necesitamos su apoyo, su ayuda en noviembre, para seguir la trayectoria de este señor que ha cambiado y ha mejorado este estado para todos nosotros, todas nuestras familias, nuestros hijos y para algunos nietos. We need your help to continue the progress that this man has helped this state turn around for our families, for our children, and for our grandchildren. Because 4 more years, this state will only be better. 4 años más, solamente va a ser mejor en la Florida bajo Rick Scott. And the alternative, well, you don't know what you'll get there. Because I don't think even Charlie knows who he is. He can't decide who he wants to be when he grows up. But Rick Scott, this is a man who believes in Florida, believes in the people of Florida, believes in small businesses because he ran a small business. He knows what it's like. He knows what it's like to have to put food on the table. He knows what it's like to have to make payroll. He knows what it's like to have to deal with permits. He knows what it's like to sacrifice. So I'm proud to be with him. We ask for your support. We're going to do what we need to do. We're going to work hard. Nosotros vamos a trabajar como perros hasta noviembre. Como decía mi abuelo. Y para decirte la verdad, y el señor igual conoce, Rick Scott es buena gente. Ahora vamos a ir del dueño de este negocio, el señor Duarte.
Muchas gracias por estar todos aquí presentes, gracias por estar el gobernador, el vicegobernador. Bueno, yo empecé hace 2 años, hace 5 años atrás con un melón en la mano, frente a la escuela Alexander. Hemos ido prosperando, gracias a Dios. Gracias a la comunidad hispana, a estas madres que siempre nos han apoyado día a día, nunca nos han abandonado. Al muchacho de la capita todo el tiempo ahí conmigo. Tengo que agradecerle mucho a la compañía New Limeto en Miami, a la compañía Boya, que me han apoyado todo el tiempo, me están ayudando. Y nada, queremos seguir creciendo, queremos seguir avanzando, abriendo más negocios en la ciudad de Tampa. Próximamente queremos abrir las carpitas donde empezamos. Estamos esperando los permisos de la ciudad de Tampa, que esperemos que ya pronto lo den. Y nada, gracias por el gobernador estar aquí.
Now we're going to hear from one of your local state representatives, Representative James Grant. He's done a great job in Tallahassee.
Hola. Lo siento, pero en los años pasados mi español fuera más o menos. Ahora muy mal. Good morning. No sé. I kid. It's good to be with you this morning. I appreciate all of you coming out. Colonel Otero, it's great to have you here as well, and the governor and the lieutenant governor. This morning's about people like you. This November we have an election that matters. We know what we were coming out of before Rick Scott ran for office. We know how hard it was to put food on our plates, to pay our bills, to start and grow a business in Florida before Rick Scott was our governor. And when times were as bad as they've ever been in this state, a man who, quite frankly, never had to run for political office, a man who could have lived quite comfortably, ran into what was, in effect, an economic fire. Our house was on fire. And a man that didn't have to said, I'm willing to serve the public. I think we can turn this thing around. And over the last 4 years, Rick Scott's done exactly what he said he would do when he campaigned 4 years ago. I can tell you that in public, in private, any conversation you ever have with that man, it comes back to one thing. Should people like the Duartes have government stand in the way of a successful business and this kind of growth? Should government be standing there telling you this is how to spend your money, this is how your kids are going to be educated, this is how you're going to raise a family, and fundamentally we believe, and the governor has led the charge, that you know better what to do with your money than we could ever tell you. So there's one thing. If there's one thing, and I don't know if this is proper, I was sitting over there laughing. If there's one thing that Rick Scott is, un hombre de palabra. All right. because when he says it, you can take it to the bank. So we have a choice this November, and I want people to understand this is going to be a very difficult campaign. We need all the help we can get. But the question is, do we want to go back to a Florida that we had 4 years ago?
No way.
Or do we want to continue the growth we've had?
Yes.
Governor Christie said this about as well as he could 2 weeks ago when he was here. He said, we have a rare opportunity in Florida in an election this big. You know what you're going to get. You have one candidate who has quit on every single statewide office he's ever had. We've given Charlie Crist some amazing opportunities as citizens in this state and voters in this state, and given him a lot of responsibility, and he's thanked us every time by trying to run for a higher office and leaving behind the responsibility we placed him. And he left us in an economic mess. So you can vote for that guy, you can campaign for that guy, or you can vote for a team that has promised you they will continue doing exactly what they've done, time and time and time again. And so for those reasons, and a whole lot more that we don't have time for, it is an incredible honor for me to stand alongside, campaign with, give my wholehearted endorsement to a governor that continues to do everything he said he would do. And I think that's all we can ask for in a governor. Results and promises that continue to turn into results. You've got it right here. So let's make sure we keep it. Let's keep working. Let's make sure that people like the Duartes can come, the best and the brightest. America is the only place, I'll close with this. America is the only place that no matter what color you are, no matter who you were born to, no matter what zip code, you have the opportunity to build this. It doesn't exist other places in the world.
Thank you, United States.
I know this. We want more of you and more of you. So let's keep a governor. Let's keep a team that continues to make sure that we create an environment where everybody has an opportunity with hard work to have this kind of success. Thank you for letting me come out today. Let's get to work and make sure we keep this team working. So thank you.
Is Commissioner Crist here? The good Crist. And Commissioner Merman, is she arrived? How about Representative Rollerson? Would you like to say a few words? Just for a second.
All right.
Well, thank you for the opportunity. The last thing you need to hear is another politician. But I just want to say that I came from Plant City to support this man right here. We need him in office. We need him to continue the growth. We need for him to continue the promises and to help get government out of the way. So God bless you. God bless you for your success. And let's get back to work. Thank you.
Is Sissy Echevarria here?
Yay,
Muchísimas gracias por la oportunidad. Es un honor estar aquí el día de hoy, otorgando mi support al mejor gobernador que ha tenido Tampa, que tiene Tampa por los últimos años. It's my pleasure to be here this morning just to give my support to the best governor that we ever had. He is doing an amazing job. He is creating jobs for all of us, not just for Americans, but for Latins. And él ha creado trabajo, no solamente para los americanos, pero sobre todo para los latinos. Si nos ponemos a pensar en todos los trabajos de construcción que se han creado en el área justamente de construcción, pues los más beneficiados hemos sido los latinos, porque tenemos muchísimos familiares que trabajan en ese sector. Y yo me imagino que muchos de los que ustedes están aquí el día de hoy tienen familias, amigos que han conseguido trabajo en el área de construcción. ¿Sí o no? Sí. Eso es gracias al gobernador de Scott. I work in the as you know, that was one of the most damaged areas, sectors in the economy. We also know that real estate is one of our pillars in our economy. So I was one, like you, and I'm assuming that government and many of us, that our properties were underwater. So it was one of my challenges to overcome those moments, what I call the darkest time of my life. And being Latin, me tocó la responsabilidad de tratar de reconstruir una parte de mi vida que yo había llamado los días más negros. Pero esos días negros coincidían justamente con la época en que la economía del país estaba en ese mismo nivel, en un hueco, en los años 2008, en los años 2009. La economía en el mercado del real estate, la economía en el mercado del mortgage estaba completamente sink. So in those years, back in 2008 and 2009, 2010, the economy in the sector of the real estate and mortgages were completely underwater. And I was part of that. I lost properties in foreclosure. Nobody knows that I also have properties in short sale. And I have behind me a great responsibility. That is my family. Because as every single Latin American in this room tonight, this morning, we all have families. And that's one thing that is what we love the most, that we are family oriented. Exactly as our governor is. He's family oriented and he knows who we are. And my story is also his story. And I'm saying that because I did my research. Again, in my darkest days, I started studying. And one of the things that I started reading about was how to overcome this situation and how to, again, go back in track in business, how to go back in track in my life. And, of course, how I'm going to do for my kids